Life Audio.
Today I'll talk about that. John brings glow sticks to church and the crowd goes wild. Meanwhile, I ride in the back of a truck in January with a 300-pound television and tell you the tale of Grandfather Frost. Plus a conversation about the dangers in striving for greatness and why we're really happiest when we make our life about other people. Today's episode is not sponsored by Figgy Pudding. Bring it to us right now or we are not leaving.
Jonnie, it's the week of Christmas, and let's talk about that.
We're here to make this for you guys because we know you're going to be traveling and you're going to be with your families or on the way to be with your families.
And you just need an escape.
You need to get your game face on.
What do you think about the whole, expectation that the holidays are supposed to be magical, and yet they don't always feel magical?
Well, they are to kids, though. You're trying to make it magical for the kids.
See, Sadie, every year for the last, since she's been a teenager, every year she says, doesn't feel like Christmas this year.
Right.
And I'm like, that's because your viewpoint of what it felt like as a kid wasn't reality.
Uh-huh.
Now that you're in reality, you should know.
Right.
It doesn't feel like that all the time.
Nostalgia is our most powerful drug.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that's a bummer. I remember the first Christmas that didn't feel like Christmas to me, and it was very depressing. I think I was 14. I started watching all the Christmas movies to try to make myself get in the zone.
Uh-huh.
And I never quite made it.
How old were you?
And it's been 14. It's been downhill ever since. It is
Merry
still,
Christmas, guys.
It is still. No, I mean, again, it's about, but here's part of it. Christmas is about other people because life is about other people. So it's like you're trying to make magic for them. That's what it should be, though. That's
what makes the magic for you. Guys, that's our show.
I think we got what we need.
It really is. And I've tried to have that talk with her. Their world is so not others focused. And she's an only child as well.
Uh-huh.
And I keep trying to tell her, but I can hear myself.
Yeah.
And when I say things, I know what they sound like to a teenager.
Right.
They just sound like cliche. But I'm like, no. The secret to happiness in life is focusing on others, not yourself. And it sounds like...
Yeah. Fortune cookie.
Yeah. Golly gee, Jiminy Cricket. It's just very not... It doesn't have... Well, no, seriously, try it. Let's go do something, That's what makes you come alive.
So what are you going to go do?
Oh, nothing. I don't take her to do anything.
Oh, okay.
I just tell her.
Just made her feel bad.
I just tell her and move on.
You're too self-centered. All right, what do you want to do? I don't know. Let's just keep watching these Christmas movies and see if we can snap into this.
Are these presents? Did you get enough presents this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. Christmas is very stressful for a lot of people because they're thinking of old wounds or whatever, so we don't want to be insensitive to that. But it is... I think it is a time where you can kind of refocus yourself on all right, it's almost like marriage, what your expectations are of a marriage really affects how quick you get to disillusionment.
Yeah.
So if your expectations are of I'm going to get a bunch of presents and I'm going to feel this warm feeling and we're going to sing carols around the fire. And then if that doesn't happen, then you're like, Christmas is ruined.
Yeah. No, we really are trying to get her. And I don't know if we do this well, but I think you just get into adulthood. You begin to accept what is and not what you thought should be and try to find what's good about what is because otherwise you're just constantly you're just going to be always disappointed by some expectation. And so hey, actually, if we're here, it's not, we had a Christmas party, me and you, with our community group.
Right.
And my expectation was that I was going to have Jonnie bring Trivial Pursuit.
Correct.
And in my mind, we were all going to be sitting around on the floor in the living room by a fire, this long journey of, getting all the pie pieces and finding our way to the middle. And Jonnie shows up with what? You want to tell everybody?
It was first of all, I went to Target because I thought, well, they'll have it. Because I didn't have a copy of Trivial Pursuit in my house anymore because it's in some box somewhere we haven't unpacked.
Right.
And I just didn't want to go through and try to find all my old board games. And the one I had was from 1978 or something. All the questions are about the former USSR. We have to know all the Slovenian countries and the Baltic that aren't even real countries anymore. So I was like, this is going to be weird. So I'm going to find the new version. I'll go to Target. They didn't have it. And the only thing I had found that was trivia at all was these like flashcard game, trivia game. And it was like just a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we could play this like Trivial Pursuit, and we'll just imagine that all these are pie piece questions.
Yeah. So we sat at the table.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, guys, one of the questions was,
who was the first president of the United States? Some of them were hard, but some of them were really
we had to eventually
insultingly easy.
Yeah. Instead of like doing whatever the die told you to do, we had to just pick the hardest question on the card.
Which sometimes all of them were easy.
So, I mean, did I get the thing I expected? I mean, I expected my wife and I to win, and we mopped the floor with everybody else. I was shocked, actually. It was like 25-7 and 8 with the other couples.
That's not at all the score.
That was the score.
It was not the score.
We
had like, more than 8.
I don't think you did.
John, first of all, I only went to 20, so you didn't score 25.
John, that's because I let up. I didn't let you know.
You let your foot off the gas, the proverbial trivia gas.
We had a chance to steal for 2 points, and we kept stealing. But was it, again,
big shock.
Was it what I expected? No. But was it fun? Sure it was. Do I have to go, oh, since it wasn't, it's a disappointment? Like, sometimes you just got to live in the moment.
You brought it up, so evidently.
When I was making a point that I had a great time, despite the fact that you failed us by not bringing the board game I wanted.
I think Target failed us both.
I'm shocked that Target didn't have that game.
Target, not a sponsor.
That's a staple. Did you try Staples?
That would have been something.
Because I bet Walmart had it. But you're too good for Walmart.
No, it's just going to Walmart at Christmas. Are you kidding me? Walmart?
You take your life into your own hands.
It's insane.
It's pretty crazy.
I was in BJ's warehouse today, and I was in. You walk around. I was looking for a camera actually for this podcast because I'm thinking about replacing our camera with a nicer camera, and for more higher resolution, so you can see the pores in our faces and be like, they really have aged 5 years. No, better camera. But no, it's. I was looking around. And I was like, they'll have it. They have electronics. You can't find cameras in these warehouses anymore because it's like people are just using their phones now, I guess. So there's very few like cameras. And so I was like, all right, whatever. But while I was there, I was looking at the TVs because these places all have their TVs out.
Right.
You have Christmas, you have Super Bowl parties coming up, and you can get like an 85-inch TV now for like $600. It's wild.
It's crazy.
Isn't it insane?
Yeah, I moved an 85-inch television on my own the other day.
Oh no.
And it was fun.
Oh.
It's shocking. I was thinking about that time. So you remember the first Super Bowl party we ever put on when I was youth pastor? And it was like we
borrowed a television from somewhere.
We were in Alcoa. We borrowed one of our kids, their parents were good friends. They were one of the worship leaders, and the grandparents.
They go, I got the big screen.
Yeah, big screen. This is 19... no, this is 2000, probably the year 2000.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
It'd be 2001 because I got married in 2000. And this would be the next February.
But it was for the 2000 season because it was Ravens versus Raiders, I think.
Okay.
Anyway,
surprising
Tampa Bay versus Raiders. Anyway, this was a rear projection television with like the red, green, blue lights in the back of the cabinet. It was a big cabinet.
I mean, it had to be at least 300 pounds.
It was, and we put it in the back of a truck.
We borrowed the truck,
and I rode in the back of the truck to steady it
in the middle of January.
And it was freezing.
Yeah, while I drove super slow.
I mean, the things we did for these kids.
Gosh. And you think they appreciate it?
Probably.
I think they do. They're actually pretty gracious towards us.
Kids have been really good.
Thanks, guys. But I mean, I was thinking though, now.
Yeah.
We couldn't even imagine it back then.
Yeah, you could hold that with a pinky.
Yeah. 85-inch television.
Now the thing is, what's the big now? If you go to somebody's house, they have to have like a 100-inch television, right? It has to take up the whole wall for you to be like shocked.
You know what my wife wants?
No.
She wants one of those picture frame televisions.
You've told me this, and I don't understand it at all. So that you can have artwork up and feel hoity-toity during the day.
It doesn't look like a TV.
Oh, this is a fireplace. Oh, this is sunflowers by Van Gogh. Stop it.
It's just a TV with a frame around it. But
I'll build you a nice frame for the TV you have.
I don't think you will, Johnny.
It'll still be a Roku.
It's I'm gonna have to get it eventually, but
there was some sketch the other day about Trump. It was an Onion story about Trump sending the National Guard into Roku City. Because there was ne'er-do-wells.
Oh, I'm glad.
Because the city, it crawls across, and you see like every now and then you'll see like a police car, and you'll see a fire, and you're like, okay, something's wrong there. We got to send in some help.
I'm glad we can laugh about that in some way.
Yeah, it's sad.
That's great. But yeah, I mean, I think that the television will eventually come because my wife rarely asks for like tech things.
Yeah.
That's not really her thing. So if she wants something...
Then you get it for her anyway, and you're like, look what I got us. And she's like, I don't even need this. You go, I'll take it.
Oh,
you ever do that?
No.
Okay.
What do you get your wife
Just
that
me.
you could keep?
Nothing. I'm just saying, that's a
a beard trimmer.
It's like
Oh,
when
you don't want
remember
it?
The Simpsons where Homer got Marge a bowling ball, and it said Homer on it. Like he had his name put on it. She's like, I don't even bowl.
Yeah.
I think she left him that episode.
Oh.
I think they separated. It was a dark
episode.
She was like, finally she'd had it with him.
I watched one the other day.
They reconciled. Everything's fine with Marge and Homer.
I watched one of the new ones the other day, and it's still so good.
Yeah.
What, 40 years?
Yeah. You know what's interesting about those? We should talk about this when we come back. Because I want to talk about this. This is like a larger popular culture thing.
This is going to go
a longer
somewhere.
Conversation. But before that, John, listen, it's the holidays.
Yeah.
And we get a break sometimes, but we don't get a break from needing to keep the lights on.
No.
We got to pay these bills, and that means we need advertisers, and we appreciate them so much. Let's take a minute and hear from a few of our fine sponsors.
And we're back. I mean, I'm really fascinated about where you're about to take us.
It's just
deep.
No, it was a video I saw the other day, and it was talking about how these legacy brands like The Simpsons, Star Wars, things like this. Okay, they start. Here's the reason they've changed and why people are kind of like, oh, it's not the same. It's not the same. It can't be the same. And this person was making a case for it. He goes, when you watch Star Wars from the 70s, 78 or whenever it came out. It was made by people who had consumed all this weird popular culture that you could never fathom. They had watched samurai movies that they drew from. They had watched war movies they drew from. They watched documentaries about World War II. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of like what Darth Vader was. It was a Nazi allegory. Okay, so they had done all that. They combined this into this weird universe that became Star Wars. The people who make Star Wars products now grew up on Star Wars. They're making like a copy of the copy. Yeah. And so like they've lost a little bit of that thing that made it so weird and wonderful. And the same with, they were using The Simpsons as an example. The people who grew up on The Simpsons, if you watch the earlier Simpsons where like Conan was writing and some of these guys, they would reference the weirdest stuff. Yeah, like Andy Williams Christmas specials and old advertising and fly-by-night insurance salesmen on television and weird stuff. Yeah. Now, people that write for The Simpsons grew up watching The Simpsons, and they go, well, I know what Homer would do here because when I was a kid watching Homer, this is how he acted. And so it's lost some essence of itself. There's no way to keep it that way because the initial weirdness is not there.
Well, if you train somebody to be entertained by one thing, then they can't be entertained by that one thing forever, right? I mean,
we're built for disillusion. I get that. And so that's the part of it that bugs me about Star Wars fans is like, they're constantly just like tearing each other apart about stuff that really doesn't matter because it's like a religion to them. I don't love that. But I will agree that when you build a culture on something that's built from all these disparate things and you've brought it together to make this one weird thing, and then somebody else comes along and watches that one weird thing for 20 years and then goes, I can write this. You go, well, maybe you can, but probably not.
It's really interesting. It's an interesting idea. Well, I always thought it was very ambitious to continue the franchise in the way that they did. And I'm actually really pleased with what they did in terms of...
Some of it's so good.
I don't think J.J. Abrams could have done any better of a job than he did to pull it all together.
I didn't love the sequels. They were fine.
Yeah.
But then, J.J. Abrams didn't do the second one. He did the third
That's what I'm saying. The Ryan Johnson one's the one everybody struggles with.
Because it kind of disrupted the whole flow of everything. And then he had to come play patchwork with the third one. And I didn't like all the little bows they put on the end. But I mean, again, it didn't ruin my life or anything. I'm like, I destroyed my childhood.
No.
That's so weird. But I will I like the ones they've made for the Disney version, like the Mandalorian series were good. Yeah. And, some of I've not watched all of them, like Andor I've not watched, but they're all they're really, really well done. Yeah. But it's just, I just do think that your source material, if it is Star Wars, and you're also worried, every time you make a move in the Star Wars universe, you're imagining 20,000 nerds second guessing you. Right. It has to affect you.
Right. In order for you to not, you're trying to reach an audience because you're making a product, but if the audience can't be pleased, it has to really. Yeah, it's got to mess with you when you go. It feels like to preach sometimes,
bro. I saw you preach this Sunday.
That's right.
I sat there and second guessed you.
You were like, "What is this
There's
garbage?
No way Luke Skywalker would have done that."
I was sick.
Yeah. Well, we still are. You can hear we have a little bit of I have a deep voice today.
And then Abby, our worship director, went down sick, so I had to sing a bunch of songs.
When I walked in and you were singing, I was like, oh man, this guy's singing and then he's got to get up and preach. This is like, it's the gauntlet.
But it worked all the way to the last 2 minutes, and then my voice started giving way. I started coughing. But I made it all the way to the prayer. And
my supposition was that you were 5 minutes too long in your sermon. And that was God's way of saying, like,
sorry.
Shouldn't have. Because, like, the preacher's like, will you repeat? You do the whole thing where you go, like, and I say again. Like, preachers have to say, you go, you shouldn't have said it again.
That was one too many again.
Just let people, like, let it stand.
I felt like Sunday, it's interesting, I can always tell, I felt like there was a sweet spot around minute probably 25 where I was really getting them, The whole sermon was about 35.
Yeah.
But can you just stop at the sweet spot? Do you just go, well,
it's like
I got you. We're out.
It's what comedians do.
Yeah, I know.
Go hand in the air.
I don't know if you know this.
That's it for me.
These are two different careers.
Those are different mediums.
One respectable, and then yours.
Yeah.
But
100%.
No, I think it's so interesting. I really do believe that nobody listens
in church.
Yeah. No, I believe it's just I'm sorry. This is a little dark.
Okay.
But like,
I'll go with you.
It's very freeing. It's very liberating because but I really am like, probably no one's going to listen or remember anything I say today because I've been doing this 27 years now.
Well, your whole thing is like all the youth sermons you did, and then you'd go back and ask a kid, can you remember one sermon?
Well, I'm aware it's not that ever got. Now, I will say
they remember the moments though. There's a few moments you did, and now they go, I remember when you did the object lesson where you held the football the whole sermon.
Lit the thing on fire. It's never.
Yeah, you broke the glow stick and it glowed, and
I understand that over time.
Sometimes we got to be broken
for the light. That was the best thing I ever did.
I remember when you did it, the room gasped.
Yeah,
even though they had to have seen a glow stick before, right?
No, they didn't know. No, how I did it was you weren't there for the first one.
Oh, that's right. You had it in bubble wrap or something.
I put it in bubble wrap, and they just thought it was a roll of bubble wrap because I had it so thick. And so it was the very first night that I did. We were in the chapel.
What made you decide to do it that way versus just like having the glow stick?
Because I didn't want them to know it was in there.
Yeah,
I wanted to be like, you feel like life is hurting you, and I was making it pop and this and that. Life's hard, and it's just this pain, and then one day, man, it just feels like you're just broken. Right. And I went snap, and they didn't know it was in there. And all of a sudden, because it was dark in the room, and this thing just lit up in my hand like this. Just it was green, and they were like. It was like, because back then,
witch.
It was great. And about, it
would be hard not to try to do something like that every week after that experience, though, right? Did you not have a hard time next week being like, what can I do this week? The top.
I had the 7 part of me, which is, I call PJ, the fun, go do those kinds of things guy.
When do we get to meet him?
He was around for a long time. Man. I'm trying to bring him back. PJ was a lot of fun.
PJ's gone.
You remember
buddy.
him.
I don't
know. PJ was always, again, not my primary part. He's the part I'm in that I have fun and make all this work. But the primary part of me is always the teacher. Like, I want to do the same thing over time so long that eventually it's just culture for you or it's just right. I think that's the whole speaking thing. Like, it's not really about them getting everything. It's that, like, if you ask... It's funny, our friend Allison was telling me this today, and they were talking about some things about, like, I was fascinated to hear the staff, or the younger staff especially, talk about their perception of the way that Andrew and I lead and what we say and what our messages are here.
Yeah. Not
just sermons, but like what's the messaging of our church in terms of, obviously a community first, community centered place, a grace first place, where truth follows grace so that your life can be transformed in community, recovery. And then, that we feel we have an obligation to speak for the poor, for those who can't speak for themselves, to speak out against injustice, to speak out against Christian nationalism, to speak out. And she's naming the things. And it's very clarifying for me to go, because it's not like I have just one message where we do that.
Right.
It's that, okay, over time, if somebody really feels that's what they're getting from this, then I think that is a mission accomplished. But it can't be accomplished in just one sitting. It would be over time. So I take back what I said, Jonnie. Maybe they are listening.
It wasn't as dark as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I think you're doing It was good to be here. I felt like such a creaster when I came in. I said, you know what we are? We're creasters.
Well, you know, Bethany walked over right before we started. She goes, "Look at all these creasters." He cracked me up.
Which, if you don't know what that is, dear listener, that is a person who goes to church on Christmas and Easter.
Easter, yeah.
Which I don't mean to be that, but I'm in a church usually, but like I'm gone on a lot of Sundays. So I think the last service I was here really was Easter.
No, you're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
So I walked in on Sunday and I was like,
we've not seen Jonnie since Easter's.
We're these freaking creasters.
Well, listen, dear listener, unless you are a professional comedian gone on the road every weekend, then we'll allow it.
Oh.
But actually, I love the creasters.
A little grace.
Fine.
A little grace for me.
You know, Roy Stone used to always want to say, can't say exactly as Roy would say.
Yeah. Where you been? Today's sermon's titled, Where you been since Easter?
Where you been since Easter? Then Happy Easter. Where you been since Christmas? Anyway, that's just those behind the scenes kind of funny ministry things.
Roy. Well, no, I don't know. I'm preaching at a church on this Sunday. I got to get my voice back because I'm doing 3 services.
Hey, you want to give me a note?
I need your notes.
Dude, just take them.
I'm just gonna. I don't know what I'm going to do.
You're going to do great.
I'm going to do fine.
Are you doing the lower through the ceiling?
Don't ruin it. What if they're podcast listeners?
Sorry, guys. Jonnie does not have a sermon from Matthew.
I need to borrow some glow sticks.
A little bubble wrap, if you know what I mean.
That'd be something, man. People gasp and I go, I can't remember the object lesson. I just knew I was supposed to break these. Like I couldn't remember the biblical principle. I'm just like, I thought this was enough. They're like, that's my time. You just step down. They're like, all right, let's do a worship song and get out of here. That
would be a funny little sketch, like just a guy that can't remember the Bible parts. Just all the cool illustrations.
He just made a potato gun for no reason. Sometimes you're the potato, but he forgot that part. You know, sometimes you get launched. But he just forgot and just brought a potato gun to church.
Guns, right, guys? Right?
Anybody?
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway, don't bring a potato gun to church.
No, they will definitely prosecute you.
I don't like that. That's not right.
We don't. Yeah. Hey, it's about that time, Jonnie.
Oh, okay.
It's my segment. It's the quote of the week. Maybe. It's not the last one of the year.
Quote of the year?
But it's getting close here. It's my segment they talked about that.
That sick, deep voice.
E. Stanley Jones was a missionary to India, wrote a bunch of books in the mid-20th century, but there's really one line from this. I'm going to read the whole thing, but I want to read the one line I want to emphasize. It's just so perfect. I mean, you could put this up on your wall. We grow small trying to be great.
Oof.
We grow small trying to be great. And the whole quote is, but what difference is there in this and in the man who finds himself the price of a new car each year when he does not need it? He says that you're giving yourself a fine when you get a new car.
Yeah.
That hurts right now because we did get a fairly new car. He too must keep up appearances, must appear great. Or the student who swaggers because he thinks it will make him great in the eyes of his fellows. But it doesn't work. It ends in futility. We grow small trying to be great. We toil in rowing, trying to get to the land of greatness and end nowhere. Then Jesus comes. Again, we fear him, for we fear he will ask us to be servant of all in order to be great. And we do not want to serve. We want to be served. But still he comes. Then we let him in. We forget greatness as we bend with him to serve the rest. And lo, as we bend, we rise. The servant of all becomes the greatest of all. We have arrived.
Wow, that's so good.
It's so good. From a book called Victorious Living. But just, you know, there's always things, I think you and I having interesting, I sometimes think about like the weird career paths that we've both sort of fallen into at times, you know, with a lot of ups and downs and other things. But, you know, there's a book I'm about to start writing that you know all about, and I've had to wrestle, you know, with what I should do or not do with it. And I'm excited to do it. But it does cause me to stop and ponder, like you're looking at some other person, like you're not looking at yourself. And kind of like I said about Sadie, like in the end, the things that have brought, I guess, satisfaction or contentment have never been the things when I was young that I thought would have. And I know this sounds maybe not a big deal to you guys, but there was a time as an author, I was told early on, if you get on one of the big morning shows on national television, that's the thing. Like, that's how you really make it as an author. And so when we booked Good Morning America for that not so black and white book, I mean, I was old enough to not be like starry-eyed about all of it. I mean, I knew it was a job and all those things. But it was fascinating being that age and not the young guy who wanted it, because I was noticing along the way, this is nothing like I thought it would be. It was seeing Reggie in New York was more fun, right, than doing the actual event. And certainly spending the week in New York with my family was one of the greatest memories of my life. But checking my emails after the thing to see how the book sales did or whatever was a low point of the trip for me.
Yeah.
Because I think when you're worrying about success or greatness, for me, it wasn't greatness at that point. I think hopefully.
Or like impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that's just died in me really painfully over time. I'm glad, but the Lord has just let it be crushed, and it hurts. It's hurt really, really badly, but I'm glad he did, and I'm sure there's more to die, but.
Yeah. I mean, I think just like that's why you're supposed to I think you just keep making things and then like let them fall where they may, but you just keep making things. You can't be like, this will be the thing that I'll be known for, though. You're like, just keep making things.
Yeah.
Let the impact be what the impact is. And because it's, you never know. I think like Norm Macdonald, who's I think is probably one of the best comedians ever to live. He's probably in my Mount Rushmore of comics. He's such a dry comic. But he would talk about how he hated important comedy.
Yeah.
And I think what he meant was, because I think comedy is important to us, and comedy can be important. But when you catch it trying to be important, it's very gross. Mm-hmm. When you feel somebody has an agenda, and the jokes are just this utility, it's a conveyance for their political ideology, or if it's a conveyance for their beef, that their axe to grind with the world, or their therapy is this comedy bit, and you're kind of just beholden to it. It feels very manipulative and wrong. But I've seen comedy sets where I go, that was an important comedy set. But it wasn't because, like, I remember being at a show in 94, we went and saw Pearl Jam, and they were at their peak. It was the second record. So we're after 10, so it was like their second record. And we saw them outdoors in Greensboro, North Carolina. And Eddie Vedder starts going on this weird tirade. It was an election year, and he starts going on this thing. And he goes, there's a place, I can see it. I'm there, and you're there. And he was basically trying to be Bono. It was you could tell where he's going. And then he brought out Gloria Steinem to speak to the crowd at a rock concert. And when I tell you... They ran for the bathroom. They ran to the bathroom. I mean, the porta potty line got insane. And I was like, this is what happens, dude. I'm sorry. This is not why we're here. I mean, I get... You can have an impact this way, but this is the wrong tack. Wow. Not today. And so... It was just funny to watch it, but I've been in show, and I've written jokes where I thought, this is kind of an interesting perspective. Sometimes you write a joke and you go, I didn't know I felt this way about that. Yeah. It's kind of interesting to watch your personality evolve, and you go, oh, I didn't realize I felt so strongly. Clearly I feel strongly about this, or I wouldn't have written such a pointed thing. Yeah. But sometimes I don't do those jokes because I don't want to come off as like it's the same thing when you do church stuff where you go like, all right, we're going to do this, and you're going to get them going. You'll tell your funny story, and then you make the turn, and that's when we get them or whatever. And you're like, ugh. I'm okay with like, we do have places we want to get people's attention. We want to make an impact. We want to make a persuasive argument for the gospel. But it's like, I hate the idea that we're sitting in rooms trying to figure out how to bait the hook and get their email addresses and all the stuff that it's like that part of it I don't love. And I've wished that we could wash our hands of that side of it. But part of it, like you said, is like we're trying to be big in some way, and we make ourselves smaller by that effort. That effort has to be pure, or it's going to end up the wrong result. And it doesn't mean, I think, that you end up small. I think it means that you're doing something small. Yeah. I can feel it in the act of it. Yeah. Like, even things I have to do. Like, I'll be honest with you. And if you're into marketing, thank God for you, because I need you on my team, because I am not great at it. Right. Because there's a part of me, and I think it's because I'm just wired differently I'm trying to find value from this that should not be found. And for other people, it's just like, oh, we're just getting this message to more people. Yeah. And so when you're wired in that way of everything is somehow tied to my identity, then everything's branding, everything's what story are you telling? It's kryptonite, man. And I can feel it like you do. You grow small in every effort to be great. And so it's really a strange, I had a meeting with an author this week, and I was like, look, I'll just remind you of what I tell everybody I work with. I am a book writer, not a book seller. Mm-hmm.
You got to know the difference. I had to learn the difference. There are times I have to sell books, right? That's not what I got into this for. I thought that would be some big.
Yeah,
that's the kryptonite for me. So yes, I'll do what's necessary for the job. But where I'm going to enjoy this, or where we're going to find the value in it, is going to be regardless of what it sells. I just got a chance to do a book with a friend, and he needed some help on his manuscript deadline, and it's not like a normal deal that I would do, and it's been fun. Like to be able to, it's a great book. He's got great content.
Better friend than me.
And I mean, he's so much better than Jonnie. I couldn't believe it. But it's like there's a purity to I'm not trying to go hit a home run or something here with what the book does. I'm just hitting a home run hopefully with the way that I write. That's what I want to do.
Well, when you have the kind of money John has, you can start taking some of these pro bono gigs. So if you have something that you want John's help with, just know that you can send that submission to
Jonnie at Jonnie W.
Jeez Louise. John, let's do my segments. Let's start with Johnny's old jokes. We call it Joke About That. John, a few Christmas-themed street jokes for today's episode.
Oh.
John, do you know the difference between the Christmas alphabet and the ordinary alphabet?
Yeah, there's no L.
The Christmas alphabet has no L.
Yeah.
John Danny had recently passed his driving test and decided to ask his clergyman father if there was any chance of him getting a car for Christmas, which was yet some months away. Okay, said his father, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you can get your A-level grades up to A's and B's, study your Bible, get your hair cut, I'll consider the matter very seriously. A couple months go by. Danny goes back to his father, who said, I'm really impressed by your commitment to your studies. Your grades are excellent. The work you've put into your Bible study is very encouraging. However, I have to say, I'm very disappointed you haven't yet cut your hair. Danny was a smart young man who was never lost for an answer. Look, Dad, in the course of my Bible studies, I've noticed in the illustrations that Moses, John the Baptist, Samson, even Jesus had long hair. Yes, I'm aware of that, replied his father. But did you notice they also walked wherever they went?
I was saying, none of them had cars.
John, it was Christmas Eve in a supermarket. A woman was anxiously picking over the last few remaining turkeys in the hope of finding a large one. In desperation, she called over a shop assistant and said, excuse me, do these turkeys get any bigger? No, he replied, they're all dead. John, why is Christmas just like any other day at the office? Because you end up doing all the work and the fat guy in the suit gets all the credit.
Hey-o. Take that,
you
the
corporate
man.
Overlords.
I hope you're listening, Andrew, right now. I'm just kidding.
And John, finally, it was coming up on Christmas, and the judge was in a jolly frame of mind. Now then, please tell me, what is the charge against you? Well, I was caught doing my Christmas shopping very early, replied the man in the dock. That doesn't seem like any offense to me. What do you mean by very early? Well, Your Honor, the shop had not opened yet. These Christmas jokes. I hope that puts you in a holly jolly state of mind, goodness. Dear listener. Let's close with This Week in Christmas History. We call it Talk About Then, Christmas style.
Christmas style.
Santa Claus. Sorry, I was trying to figure out how we
Santa Claus.
John, did you know that the first fake Christmas trees were made of dyed goose feathers?
Oh.
In late 19th century Germany, people began fashioning bright green feather branches, quote unquote, I'm putting air quotes, to mimic evergreens and protect local forests from overharvesting. What a bunch of woke. That's why we got to pillage the earth. These people had no idea where. Meanwhile, the geese are like, hey hello, how about overforesting us?
How about preserving the geese feathers?
The result, John, was a surprisingly charming, fluffy precursor to today's artificial trees. Can you imagine a fluffy little goose feather tree?
I think that tree really would get me down. Hello. What's this thing on?
That's our show.
Yeah.
Johnny, I keep calling you Johnny. John, holly and mistletoe have ancient pagan roots.
Oh, dear.
They used to ward off evil spirits during winter solstice. That's what people believe. They warded off evil spirits.
You said it like it was true. Like, everyone knows. The scientists have proven.
It's odd, though, that they've remained, though. It's like they got pervy. Or like, hey, the longer we're going to ward off these. You know what to ward off an evil spirit? Why don't you come give us a kiss? Like it just got a little more crass and gross.
Yeah, it did.
The mistletoe's still there, but we're like...
Maybe it was the kiss the whole time that wore it
maybe
off
that's what...
spirit. Dude, we just wrote a Hallmark movie.
You know what I'm saying? On. I don't think
you can't use witchcraft in a Hallmark.
Well,
I mean, so I hear.
John, Santa wasn't always red. He was depicted in blue, green, or purple. And you know what made him eventually the red that we know today?
I do know.
What was it?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola's popular illustrations swayed public sentiment, and so now we kind of believe that Santa was always red. Nope. It used to be purple and green and blue, and depending on what.
Interesting. Interesting that the color didn't matter as much. You know what I'm saying?
Did you know, John, that Jingle Bells was the first song played in space?
I did not know that.
If you believe that we've been to...
Or if you believe other people weren't already doing it in space before we knew about it.
How do we know what songs that the aliens were playing?
Yeah.
Be weird if they also had Jingle Bells.
That's a lot of interesting...
Like, bleep, blorp, bleep, blorp, jingle bells, jingle bells. I don't know why they...
It's a really big parallel inspiration there.
I hate when they say bleep, blorp.
Ugh.
Okay, John, here's an interesting one. Alabama was the first state to recognize Christmas. It holds a unique place in holiday history. It was the first U.S. state to officially recognize Christmas. Back in 1836, Alabama declared December 25th a legal holiday, long before many other states had followed suit. It wasn't until 1870 that Christmas had become a federal holiday, but Alabama helped pave the way. Oklahoma was the last U.S. state to make it a legal holiday in 1907. Oklahoma's holding out. I guess it means not recognize it, but recognize it as like a day off work.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm going back to like George Washington crossing the Delaware on Christmas Eve, right? So we know they're celebrating.
Well, he was working though, technically.
That is true. He was working hard.
Didn't take the day off.
Maybe you guys should enjoy your freedom.
Thanks, GW.
Yeah.
Here's another one, John. From 1659 to 1681, the Massachusetts Bay Colony, including Boston, prohibited the celebration of Christmas, enforcing a 5-shilling fine for anyone caught feasting or skipping work. They were really like hardcore, be like, you're lazy. You've become lazy. I think it was because of like the excessive consumerism. It said Puritan leaders viewed the holiday as a superstitious pagan tradition lacking scriptural basis, often associated with rowdy, immoral, and wasteful revelry.
We just call that Amazon Prime Day.
The key details of the ban included the law, which the General Court enacted, called the Penalty for Keeping Christmas on May 11, 1659.
It's not a very creative name for that law.
Declared the day a regular work day. So they're like, you need to be at work.
Bleep, blorp, bleep.
The bleep, blorp. Jingle bells. The reasons... The Puritans aimed to prevent disorders, quote, drunkenness, and what they deemed pagan-influenced celebrations. The duration of the law remained in place for 22 years until 1681 through the formal legalized ban. Though the formal legalized ban was lifted primarily due to pressure from the English crown rather than a change in local sentiment. So the people were still like, nah, you know what?
Not going to do it.
Revelry is not our thing anymore. And so the crown was like, you know what? We got to...
You can keep your reindeer.
We may have gone too far. And despite the repeal, the social stigma against Christmas persisted in New England, and it did not become popular or an official holiday in Massachusetts until the mid-19th century. These people hung on to their bitterness against Christmas.
Wow. What's the deal, Massachusetts?
I don't know. And there is an attitude when you go, I mean, I'm not trying to impugn our Boston listeners.
But let me tell you.
But listen, your history doth saith.
You doth hate.
But you better watch out and you better not cry.
He knows. Hey, he sees you when you're sleeping.
John, did you know that fruitcake can actually last a lifetime? It might be the most durable dessert on the planet, literally, thanks to its dense texture, generous dose of sugar, and alcohol-preserved ingredients. A traditional fruitcake can last for decades. Some families have cakes that are over a century old. You may not want to take a bite of it, though.
No.
As a caveat.
My dad loved fruitcakes.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a thing, man. He'd get them.
Like there's a gel and a gumminess to it.
Well, yeah, it's basically like a bunch of candies all pressed together into a...
Shaken together and running over.
Oh, to make room for more.
John, Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells. I thought you were reciting, sorry.
Jingle Bells.
All...
Bleep Blorp was originally a Thanksgiving song.
Okay, come on.
Think about it. Think about the words. The words do not talk about Christmas. So
They don't talk about Thanksgiving either.
One of the world's most iconic Christmas songs was not written for Christmas at all. Jingle Bells originally was composed in the 1850s as a Thanksgiving tune celebrating winter sleigh rides. Its catchy rhythm and joyful imagery caught on so quickly that it became a holiday favorite and eventually a Christmas classic. But it does not talk about Christmas. It's talking about dashing through the snow. And a lot of that stuff happens in November, depending on where you live.
I was going to say, we don't get snow in November.
Well, you need to get out more.
Well,
you're having these little tender Tennessee Christmases where
there's
more
Christmas.
Snow in Colorado than my rooftop will ever see. Thank you, Amy Grant, for that. I don't know if she wrote that song, but she definitely made it popular. Tender Tennessee. Was she the one?
I think it was
Amy Grant, right?
There was a really sweet lady at my church that would sing it every year. She's a really good singer. That was a great, yeah.
My mom loved that song.
Yeah.
John, Santa Claus has different names around the world. He may be a universal symbol of Christmas cheer, but he goes by many different names around the world. Do you know some of the names? In Germany, he's known as Kris Kringle. In Italian, children await La Befana. La Befana. A kind old woman who delivers gifts on Epiphany.
Okay.
So La Befana is the female Santa of sorts over there. In France, festive joy comes from Père Noël.
Oh.
And in Russia, my favorite, presents are brought by Deshduka Moroz. Sounds very harsh.
Do you remember in Bolivia what we called him? Papa Noel.
Papa Noel.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Doing Christmas for the kids in Bolivia was some of the greatest. Were you there for any of those?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Some of the greatest memories ever. Yeah, Papa Noel.
I want to say that it's not Deshduka. Dedushka. Dedushka Moroz is also known as Grandfather Frost.
Oh,
which I kind of dig.
That
sounds like a cool character.
I think I
could get into like a little Sunday morning, a Christmas show around Grandfather Frost, the mythology of Grandfather Frost and his backstory, the universe of Grandfather Frost.
Yeah, but it feels as if like in the end there's going to be some sort of revolution or something. And Grandfather Frost led the workers into
the big fur hat.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you got to control.
There's a lot of history there.
The means of production are very important. Yes. Christmas somehow it figures in. We've got to seize the means of production. Anyway, our apologies to Grandfather Frost and his...
We must stop the oligarchy. Okay.
Okay. Ebenezer Scrooge's famous line, John, almost never existed. Before settling on the iconic Bah Humbug, Charles Dickens originally wrote Scrooge's signature dismissal as Bah Christmas. Thankfully, Dickens revisited it, giving one of literature's most quotable grumpy gripes as a phrase that's become synonymous with holiday crankiness.
Yeah.
Bah Christmas is not near.
I said Bah Humbug this week to somebody.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
It feels good.
It does.
But you did it ironically. You're not really.
No, total judgment. Okay, it was like, yeah.
John, finally, for our Christmas history, tinsel was once banned. Yeah, that's right.
From
shiny, colorful tinsel is undoubtedly one of the quintessential Christmas decorations.
It's a lot of litter.
Wasn't always this way. Tinsel arrived on the scene in Germany in the 1600s, where it was made from real silver. Fast forward a few hundred years, the decoration became banned in the U.S. because it contained lead. Today, tinsel is made from safer materials, is my favorite line. Safer materials like plastic and aluminum, so you can string it up without concern.
Yeah,
we say that with microplastics in our bloodstreams.
We're basically, like, you can go down, there's coral reefs that are now, like, covered in plastic, but it's
are tinsel.
Yeah, we are the tinsel.
Shine a flashlight down my throat, you'd be like, no, look at this.
Oh, it did sound like a sermon. Guys, we are the tinsel. I mean, just let your light shine. You're not the source of the light, but it's reflecting off of you, glimmering, if you will, for the world to see. Sure, you're poisoned by the ways of this world.
Sure, our lifespans may be negatively affected, but but for that brief moment, we will glow, not unlike a broken glow stick.
That's
And then that's when somebody would get up and start playing like 3 chords on the keyboard behind you.
Did you hear him Sunday? So I was playing keys.
Yeah.
And, I call it altar music keys. Uh-huh. You just rotate between 4 chords, but you're doing it creatively.
Right.
And really, I don't know. It's
you're setting a tone. You're laying a pad down.
One of my favorite things to do.
Sure.
I just don't get to do it very much anymore. Well, sometimes if you do it too well, it gets the speaker going.
Oh, and he's getting energy from it. He thinks like, we got to keep it. He's deriving.
And he actually said, he goes, you know what? I'm going to go and tell this story because, John, the music already sounds like it's. He literally.
Oh, right. Yeah, he did. He told an extra story.
Yeah,
and then as he was into the story, I could tell he was like,
shouldn't have done this.
This story is one story too many.
But
it's too late. You're into the story.
I felt responsible.
Yeah,
a little
you did
bit.
it.
Like I let him.
You got him amped up.
Hey, come on, Pastor.
God, this emotional manipulation that you see, it's so prevalent in churches.
Throw down this E minor right now, and this is going to be.
You go to that E minor.
He's going to ring out.
Another gear.
And move into the 4, and then walk it on down.
A lot of people think it's the tinsel of liturgy.
They do.
They do. That's what's happening.
Once banned, but now accepted and safe.
Thriving.
So, yeah.
Well, anyway.
That was a very educational
Don't you think?
Christmas episode.
We learned something. We
did.
Celebrated together.
Yeah.
We bummed them out a little bit probably with some of our stuff.
There's a lot of...
We're like, look, it is what it is. Just go be with your family.
Yeah. Sorry about that. This is us in our 40s. Like, we can't...
I'm 51.
Sorry. This is me in my 40s. And Johnny...
You wanted me to say it.
In a whole other decade.
I'm so old. I'm trying. Listen.
You're younger than me,
you're
though,
only
51.
As old as you feel. Listen, if the Christmas spirit lives in us, are we ever really old?
I mean, Santa's like 1,500 years old. Sorry, Papa Noel.
I think you mean... Dushka Mirage.
Dushka Mirage.
Grandfather Frost.
I want my grandkids to call me that.
Grandfather Frost.
Yeah.
You got to let some of this white come in.
It sounds, though, again, like I rule.
You got to let that just for men go. You got to let it come on in, Grandfather Frost.
I rule with an iron fist is what it sounds like. And everyone knows me. Yeah. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I rule with like a plastic fist. Safer.
It is safer.
Totally safe.
Safer than real silver.
Yeah. Which that was interesting to me. Was silver just so ubiquitous
that
it was just
they were like putting it on trees?
Wow.
Well, and they had candles on the end. They said that they did it originally because candles on the end of the limbs, it gave like a something for the light to shimmer off and bounce off.
Guys, it just writes itself.
Huh?
And
for the tree to catch fire.
I try real hard in like Advent messages not to incorporate so much of the modern Christmas thing because I do recognize it's not at all the same. But I did it a little bit Sunday. The only thing I'll do is just talk about unwrapping the gift.
Yeah.
Realizing I'm not sure they were wrapped in ancient cultures. I'm not sure. But
surely. Oh, do they just roll them out? Here you go.
Here's
your bread.
But, it was perfect for I used the Christmas Vacation where he brings in the gift for his boss and they're all shaped the same, like the Old Testament.
The boss is like, put it over there with
the others and all, but you can't tell what Jesus really was. The God of the Old Testament is love. You can't really tell. You can only tell the shape, and so and then Jesus removes the wrapping. But am I compromising by bringing in a modern Christmas application to
100%?
Okay, it's
good. And I think this is the proper form to tell you are compromising.
It's about time someone called me out.
You have watered down the gospel, and you are a heretic.
I told my wife the other day, is like, I know some people just want to be heard.
Uh-huh.
I want to be fixed. Like when I complain or tell you a problem, I want to be corrected.
Oh, really?
I want you to tell me what I should do differently.
You want me to coach you up?
Yeah, like tell me something I should be doing differently. Not you right now necessarily.
Oh, okay. I've made a list.
You're like, hold on. He's reached his pocket.
Let me open this file on my computer. It just starts populating.
Hold on, it's going to take a second. It's pulling from the cloud. That's great. Well, Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry Christmas, Johnny. I know you're heading east, and I'm heading a little east. And
I'm going to Tokyo.
I'm
going to Knoxville.
Yeah.
But yes, going
to
be with
Tokyo
family.
of the South, they call it.
They call it that.
They do.
And it won't stick no matter how much I try.
No,
but I'm excited to see some family, and then I'm going to Florida for a few days.
Oh, fun.
And where it's warm, and I'll never return because it's warm there.
It's nice.
It's chilly here, and I don't like it.
No. Well, hey, guys, you should check out talkaboutthatpodcast.com.
Please subscribe, become a patron, get ad-free content. Click that up right if you want to send us a note. Hello at talkaboutthatpodcast.com. That's the email to send it to. Go to my website, johnnyw.com. We're announcing tour dates. Every week, new tour dates pop up, and we're adding to my 48-city tour with Awakening events. And that's going to be coming, I guarantee you, to a major city near you. Please don't make excuses. I need these rooms to be full, okay? They're taking a big chance on me. I got a bus now. We got to do something.
Yeah, it's time to stop thinking about yourselves. We talk about the whole episode.
Yes. Christmas is about buying tickets to my show for people that you love.
Look, help Johnny grow small as he tries to be great. Wait, you will grow great as you keep Johnny from being small. I don't know. It's something. But no, come to see a show, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait, Johnny.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be there for every single one of them.
Oh, that's probably too much.
That's going to be too much. So.
Yeah, I don't have enough for hotel rooms for that.
Well, guys, thanks for the time you gave us this week. We do wish you Merry Christmas. Let's do it again next week here on
Talk About That.